What's up guys, Matt here coming at you with another quick video. Today I wanted to do wheels and weights because I have a lot of different wheels and trying to find the weight that fits each wheel can be a little bit tricky. For the most part, these stamped steel bead locks from Rc4wd Drive, you know, they're all the same. These three wheels are all the same. I just put them out here to show that they are all the same. These Rage wheels are a bit different. The Raceline wheels are different. And then you got stocks. So I have two different sets of weights here. Full Send RC. Highly recommend fullsendrc.com. Great weights. They make them for the stock wheels, which fit a lot of things. See that will push right in there. And then they have the ones for these wheels. And if you look at that, you can see how thick that weight is, like how much weight you're getting per wheel. Even these are a little bit thinner than the ones for the stamped wheels. You can see the ring around that edge is a little thinner, so they weigh a little less, but they still feel like they weigh more than the millstones is what these are. And I'll put the weight of each one of these up on the screen here. With the millstones, these have the wideners, so you're widening the vehicle as well with those. I'm running those on this truck right now, and that's it. That's why I have so many extras. So if you're going stock, if you're running stock wheels and tires, if you want to widen the vehicle, you can go this route. Honestly, if you want to widen the vehicle, I would suggest going with the Full Send RC and then widen the vehicle with the axles. But I'd also highly recommend Full Send's rear axle. I wish he made the fronts. Hopefully he will soon, but I wanted to touch on that also. So here's a stock axle here. Here's your hot racing plus 4mm. You can see it's basically the exact same thing, just a little bit longer. And here's the Full Send. Look at that monster. See how beefy that is? So, unbelievable. I couldn't believe the difference in these when I got the Full Send. Just awesome quality. Gonna have the, you know, the extra weight in the rear, the extra toughness because it's much thicker than these. But yeah, hopefully he makes some fronts soon. But I would probably go that route, honestly. It's not that much money. I would buy both. I'd buy this to get the fronts. I would buy Full Send rears. Slap them on and go with some of his weights. I like the wheel nut for these. This is the wheel nut, if you don't know. It drops down in there because when you put this on, it widens it out and the axle stops like down in here somewhere. So your threads are down in here, so that drops down in there and then threads. It's pretty cool. You can see on this truck here, it gives you that big wheel nut there. Makes it nice putting on and off. It's a lot easier to handle than these. So that is cool. I like that depending on what wheel you're using. Works good with these. Not so much any of these. Actually, it even works really well with stocks. This is a stock C10, if I didn't say that already. but it doesn't work well with the stamped wheels. You have to slot that. You can cut a notch in it and slot it so you can use a flat screwdriver, or do something weird. I actually took this Traxxas tool I had and grinded that down to where it's super thin, and it fits that, and I can get it in there and actually tighten that on these wheels, but I'm not even gonna run those on those wheels, I don't think. One other quick note, if you're gonna run the millstones with these wheel nuts here that drop down in the wheel, if you have the Rc4wd drive stamp steel wheels, you will have to drill the center out for this to fit down in there. It won't fit through the wheel. You see how small the hole is on that one? This one's been drilled out, the center hole there. Same for the race line. You have to drill it as well if you want to run these, because you have to use this wheel nut, and it won't fit through there like it does this. And that one's a little bit tight, but it fits through there and screws in onto the axle. So you will have to drill those. With the stocks, it works. Of course, that wheel nut's not going to come out now. Okay, so we'll grab another one. It'll fit through the stocks, so you're good with stock. Just the stamped steel wheels and the race lines. Also fits the Rage just fine. At least my Rage were that way. I got these used, so I don't know if they were drilled or not. I don't think they were. So it should work with them. Just wanted to touch on that. So that's a little bit of something to consider as well. If you're running the stamped steel wheels, these millstones are kind of a pain. But the one kicker I ran into, so with the Rage wheels, there's really not any, I mean, you have a hard time finding weights to fit them. So these millstones work great for these. They fit perfect. So that's the main reason I have those, because they work really well for that truck. And then these race lines were a bit different for me. I had a problem trying to figure out what to run with them. I thought that these may work when I ordered them. These are the, like I said, full send for the stamped steel bead lock. They were just too thick. They wouldn't fit in there. So I ordered a set of full send stock for the stock wheels instead of the weights for the stock wheels. And you'll see they fit, but they're a little too loose. So when I run that, if my truck tilts at all, it's gonna wanna move. So what I'm gonna probably do is put a dab of glue, just a little dab here or there, or around the edge, and drop that in and just kind of let it sit. And that way, it'll just be tacked in there. I don't want it in there all the time. You know, I may want to change things out a little bit. So you can easily take a Allen head and stick it in there and drive it out. So just a little tab of glue, and those will work fine for these. So if you have the race line wheels, I'm going to recommend the full send weights for the stock wheels. Because like I said, the ones for the stamped steel wheels wouldn't fit. Just a tiny bit too big. I guess you could get those and grind them off if you wanted to go through all that. But I just don't want to do all that. Or you could run the millstones if you're planning on widening your truck. But like I said, I would almost just recommend the axles. just because those little wheel nuts are sort of hard to use, and to me, like, I like the cleaner look. Say on these wheels, I like the small wheel nut versus the big, huge wheel nut showing there. I think it takes away from the wheel. So I just kind of prefer the smaller wheel nut on something like those. And I just wanted to kind of touch on, if you had any of these wheels, what weights that I would kind of suggest. The stamped steel wheels, like I said, they're all three the same. You can go with the millstones, they work fine with those, or the full send. Just kind of depends if you're wanting to widen the truck or not. My C10, I didn't want it any wider because these wheels widen the truck a bit on their own. So you're gonna gain a little bit of width with them anyways. And so if you have your truck sitting how you want it, you don't really want the millstones to widen it. And just the millstone weights by themselves is not as much weight as the full send, so I recommend those. If you have any questions on any of these wheels, or just want to know, you know, diameters on these weights or something like that, just let me know and I'll get whatever for you. Just wanted to do a quick vid on all this. Hopefully I didn't jump around too much and confuse you to death. Millstones definitely work good with the Rage because they're so small that it's about the only thing that would fit them right. So if you have the Rage wheels, I most definitely need those. Other than that, I like the Full Send. FullSendRC.com. Their customer service is unbelievable. I've talked to them several times, and on Facebook Messenger, and like as soon as I message, no time I'm getting a message back. Super helpful, has helped out quite a bit. So definitely check them out, well worth it. American made, right here in the US. All right, gonna be doing some running stuff. May do a tire comparison here pretty soon. Trying to figure out exactly what all I want to do with the tire comparison, because kind of gonna have to use one truck and just rotate wheels and tires. So then it gets into, do you have the same amount of weight in there and all this stuff. Honestly, tires, I prefer the Goodyears, Wranglers, or these Patagonias. For a little bit bigger tire, okay? Your Rock Locks, these aren't glued. They're just small. See how much smaller that is. And the Rock Creepers are the same way. They're a little bit smaller. But I'm loving these on the C10. You know, I just like how that truck looks sitting there. You know, I'm sure it would look fine with some bigger tires, but it just gives the right amount of flex without too much body rubbing and all of that. So, and those Rock Creepers really hook on and grab. So far I'm really liking those on that truck, but it just depends if you want bigger tires, smaller tires. The treads on these trucks are so small and light that it's not a huge deal. So may get into a tire comparison, but I'm not sure. There's a lot involved there. Just wanted to talk about wheels and weights. If you have any questions, hit me up. Appreciate everybody watching. Peace.